people, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel, my little corner of the YouTube verse. Today I'm going to be talking about the 6 things that I learned while I was visiting Colombia. 3 of those things are about Colombia, the country itself and the people and the culture there, and then 3 of those things that I learned or took notice of are things about myself. Like, I learned a lot of things just about me while visiting the country. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first I'm gonna start off with the 3 things that I learned about Colombia, like the country. So first one, people in Colombia drive crazy, like crazy. They drive so crazy in Colombia. Now, don't get me wrong, we didn't see any accidents while we were there. I think the only time that I ever saw a car like on the side of the road was when some guy was changing his tire. There was literally no accidents for the whole like week that we were out there. So they know what they're doing, but to us foreigners in the car, it looked like we were going to crash every second. Like, they're so close to each other. There's no lanes. It's just like one big cluster of cars just moving, and somehow it works. I don't know how. They all just understand like where they're gonna go and when. I swear, even with signaling, like they signal at the same time that they're getting over, so it's kind of like, whoa, like how am I supposed to, I don't know. They haven't figured out down there. To the untrained eye, it looks like the craziest driving situation. There was even one time when we were in a taxi in Cartagena, and our taxi driver was yelling out the passenger window over our friend that was sitting in the passenger seat to talk to the taxi driver in the car next to him, who was also yelling out the window. And this is all while they're driving, mind you, and he's like on the phone doing like talk to text. Crazy. But obviously it works. No accidents, no problems, they get around just fine. But to me, the driving was absolutely loco. Okay, the second thing that I learned while in Colombia is that the food is super delicious, and super cheap. Like, things were so cheap. I'm talking like $4 or $5 for like an entire meal with a drink, and like not just like water or some juice. These are like smoothie drinks, and just your buck goes really far. Your dollar goes really far in Colombia. And the food is really good. We were always well fed. And yeah, I kind of miss the cheap, delicious food there. Oh, and the coffee, absolutely amazing. I don't actually consider myself to be a coffee drinker. I might drink like a cup of coffee every other month. And that was like pre-quarantine. Like, now that we're stuck in the house, I don't have a coffee maker here. Like, I'll drink tea or something like that, but I'm not big on coffee. Mind you, while we were in Colombia, I had coffee every morning. And not only did I have coffee, I had it like black, like no cream, no sugar, just give me that coffee, because it was so good. Colombia has some great coffee. So the third thing that I learned about Colombia while I was visiting is how nice the people are. Everyone was just so friendly and just so nice. People, when they pass you in the street, like talk to you and acknowledge you, which I think is something that we kind of lack here in the States. It's very common. I'll pass like a neighbor or something and try to smile at them, and they're like avoiding eye contact at all costs, let alone like saying, hey, good morning, how are you doing? So Colombians are really, really nice. There was only like one instance where I felt like we had friction with someone we ran into, and she worked at the airport, and she probably had a long day. You know how people are when they work at the airport. Yeah, so she was really the only rude encounter that we had. Besides that, like, everywhere we went, everyone we met, like, Colombians are so nice. So the fourth thing that I learned about Colombia, which this is one of the first things that I learned about myself while being there, I have allergies. Yeah, I have allergies, and I get them bad, apparently, in Colombia. So I have this whole trip planned ahead where I'm going to live in South America. And so just going on the trip and realizing how bad my allergies get made me realize, like, yeah, I need to do something about this prior to moving. So that was a learning experience for me. I've never had allergies so bad before, which is why in like majority of my vlog, I sound so congested and my nose was like running horribly. I had issues with elevation. So when we were flying from Cartagena to Medellin, the altitudes, I guess, are just so much higher, or the elevation there, like they're sitting on a mountain basically, so they're like really high up. And I think the transition going from Cartagena to Medellin really just messed up. I don't know what, my ears clogged so bad, and I've never had them clogged that bad to the point where they're like pulsating. And I think my allergies had a lot to do with it, because I was having like pain like coming down my like throat. It was weird. It was a sensation I never felt before, and it was painful. Like, I've had my ears clogged before, but not to the point where it's like an intense throbbing pain. Like, I was crying. It was bad. So yeah, before I take flight to go overseas and move anywhere, I'm definitely going to get with the doctor and figure out what's going on, and if there's anything that I could possibly take prior to going to kind of help out with my apparent allergy problem. All right, so the second thing that I learned about myself while in Colombia, which is technically the fifth thing on my list for this video, I suck at numbers. I am so bad at numbers, and not only, this is in English, like I knew that, but in Spanish, oh my gosh, it's even worse. It's just like, I don't even have words. It's me and numbers, just, and the crazy thing is, in Spanish, like, numbers are even longer. So it's, I don't know if it's necessarily, like, me and math aren't good, but then having to add on top of that, like, really long numbers. For example, like, if I want to say 16, in English, you just say 16. In Spanish, it's 16. So it's like a whole sentence. Like, those are 3 words put together for one number. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, and then on top of that, like the conversion rates and everything are so different. Everything is in like mil pesos. So not only am I translating to Spanish and using numbers that are longer than English, but then on top of that, we're talking about like millions, and we have all these zeros, and it's a lot. So I actually use my currency exchange app very frequently, just pretty much in every situation, because I can't do basic math apparently. And that really helped me while I was over there, but it also helped me realize just how bad I am at math, at numbers, and it doesn't matter what language it is, they're not my thing, and I've accepted that. So the sixth thing that I learned about myself while I was in Colombia, I learned Spanish so much faster being in a Spanish-speaking country, and I know that's kind of like, duh, Ariana, like, if you're around people that are speaking Spanish, you'll pick it up fast. I knew that, I've always heard that, but this is the first time I've actually like experienced it. I've known Spanish I've been learning Spanish for a couple of years now, a lot of years now, for being honest. And the first time that I traveled to a Spanish-speaking country, well, no, not the first time, but the first time that I traveled to a Spanish-speaking country and really had a more advanced fluency level, or thought I did, I went to Spain, and I was so lost. I pretty much thought I didn't know Spanish at all. Like, what have I spent all this time like learning? Because I don't know anything here. But it was just, the dialect is different. And so being in Colombia, it was like clicking, like, oh wow, you actually do know Spanish. Like, this is the stuff you learn in school, and it sounds like what you're used to hearing, when you listen to music. And it was more of a learning experience for me, not so much learning Spanish I don't know, but being able to like actually comprehend and hold conversations. And yo puedo hablar con todos. But yeah, just being able to speak and talk with people and have that interaction. And even when talking with them, like, I would learn new words as we were conversing. So different things like that, listening to the television in Spanish, having to order things and do everyday transactions in Spanish. I was just picking up so many new Spanish words every single day. And so that just got me even more excited about going to live overseas or going to live abroad, and being able to really improve my fluency like every day. And yeah, I'm just really excited about that, because like I said, I've been learning Spanish for a very long time. And so I'm kind of ready for it to just kind of click where I can do it without having to think. And I think in order to do that, I really have to increase the amount of conversations that I'm having in Spanish daily. I also, while in Colombia, really on the way coming back from Colombia, because I met her on my flight coming back, I met my Latin grandmother, y'all. Like, yo tengo una abuela. I met this really, really nice lady on the plane. I forgot where she told me she was coming from, but pretty much she had been traveling back home, and because of everything that was going on with the coronavirus and, you know, flights getting canceled here and there, she had been, it was like her fourth flight, the flight that we were on for her to get home. So we had been talking it up. She had been asking me how I knew Spanish, because we were talking in Spanish, and it's just so funny because we were conversing and I was telling her about, yeah, you know, like I know Spanish, but there's still sometimes I struggle with like understanding what people are saying to me because you guys just talk so fast. And she was just like, that's not even important. As long as you can say what you need to say, it's fine. I was like, yes. So that was awesome. I have a Latino grandmother who has awesome advice. Not only that, one of the flight attendants came by and he was pushing the cart and had like food and drinks. And so it was a bilingual plane and he spoke both English and Spanish. So he asked me like, what do you prefer, English or Spanish? And so I just like automatically just told him, oh, English is fine. Y'all, my abuela was like, Espanol. I kid you not, it was the funniest thing, but like, it really just hit home to me. Like, she was really like, no, you know the language, so you're gonna speak it. And that was pretty awesome. So forever will remember that. Gracias, abuela. Have you guys ever visited Colombia? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have, what are some things that you learned while you were there, either about the country or about yourself? Even if it wasn't Colombia, like drop in the box below whenever you've traveled abroad or traveled to a new place. What are some things that you guys learned? Those are the 6 things that I learned while I was in Colombia. 3 things about the country and 3 things about myself. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give this a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. I am obviously not traveling. I'm sitting in my living room talking to you about traveling. So if you guys prefer this kind of content, let me know and hit that thumbs up button. So yeah, that's it for me. Until next time, guys. Bye. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. And thank you so much for clicking on this video and choosing to watch it. Yeah. Again, if you made it this far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a likes. Bloop.